Hello there. So, today we are going to learn about the common factoring part 2. So, if you haven't learned about the part 1 here, so please watch the part 1 first and then we're going to move on to the common factoring part 2. Now, in this part 2 right over there, let's see how we're going to do the factoring. So, if something like this is given to us here, it says factor fully 2x brackets x plus 7 then plus 3 brackets x plus 7. Now how we gonna factor out something like this here? Now notice one thing here. This is the first term and that's the second term here. Now in between these two terms here there is something common that we see here. There is something, the similar things that we see right now here. If you see this x plus 7 right now and this x plus 7 here, now that is common in both of the terms. And because this is common here, that means we can factor this out here. So x plus 7, since it's a common here, we're going to factor it out. Then if you are factoring it out here, how to write it? So we're going to place the x plus 7 right in the bracket. Now, if I'm going to take away the x plus 7 from both the terms here, I'm gonna left with the 2x plus 3, but make sure to write that in the bracket. So in the bracket, we're gonna write 2x plus 3. So this is the way we are going to write it as. That's basically how we're gonna factor out fully. That's the answer. Okay, so let's see the next one. So let's see. So this is the first term here. How I know this is the first term? Because the 4s is multiplying with the whole everything in the bracket here, the whole bracket right now, r plus u. So that means if they are multiplying, that means that's a term here. Same thing, this one right over there. 3 is multiplying by everything into the bracket. So if the numbers or the variables they multiply, that we call it as a term here. Now in both the terms, we see something in common here, r plus u here, r plus u here. So since we see something common in there, so we can factor it out here because the r plus u is common. So we're going to factor it out. So place the bracket and place the r plus u right in there. And now, because just think here, if you're going to take out the r plus u from both the brackets, we're gonna left with the 4s minus 3. So that's what we're gonna write here, 4s minus 3, but that should always gonna be in the bracket as well. So 4s, take up the sign with the 3, so 4s minus 3. So this is the way to factor out if the expression looks something like this here. Now the next one here is the C part. Let's see how we're going to solve this one here. So in the C part here, they are saying the 3x is multiplying by 6 minus y. This is the first term. And the 2 here is multiplying by y minus 6 here. Now just notice that here, this y minus 6 here and the 6 minus y, they are not the same right now. But we can do something so they can be same. Remember, whenever you write down the variable, we always write the variable first, then we write down the number. So this is the y minus 6 and there we have 6 minus y. So we can do one thing for that here. We can do some manipulation on this one here. Okay, we're gonna write the variable first. The y is having a negative sign, so negative y goes first. And then let's write the number 6 here. What's the sign here? Nothing. So it's a positive. So it's just the plus 6. We're going to write that number here. So it's a negative y plus 6 here. So this is something we got here. And for the factoring here, whenever the first term is gonna be negative, we always take out the negative from that here. So this negative, basically we're going to take out from both the terms. So negative y, if you take out the negative, it's just the y left. Now positive 6, when we're gonna divide by negative, remember positive divided by negative is a negative, then 6 is left. So that means this is something. Now see, I see y minus 6 here, same as this one. That means remember this 6 minus y here, I can just write that as negative brackets y minus 6. It's basically the same thing here, because if the negative multiplies into the bracket here, see negative times y, that's negative y, negative times negative 6, that's gonna be positive 6 here. We can again write the 6 first, positive 6 first, then negative y. Now check it out here, 6 minus y, it's basically same thing as writing negative y minus 6 here. So that means 3x stays the same here, and instead of writing 6 minus y, we can write here negative brackets y minus 6. So negative brackets y minus 6. Close the bracket and these all terms stays the same. Now next up here is going to be, now there is something common that we see in both of the terms here. So we see y minus x here and we see y minus x here. Now that is common. Okay, before going on, see this negative is basically multiplying by 3. See, 3x is multiplying by everything into the bracket. So 3x right now here, this one is gonna multiply by negative. So let's multiply. Let's see what would be the answer if we multiply. Positive times negative is just the negative here. And so 3x times negative, that's negative 3x, and leave the y minus 6 in the bracket as it is, and this one stays as it is, then y minus 6. Now, because y minus 6 is common here, so that means we can factor it out. So we can write y minus 6 first, and then because if you just take out y minus 6 from here and here, we're gonna left with negative 3x plus 2. So we can write negative 3x plus 2. So this is the way we can write it out. This is fine here, but notice one thing here, we never write down the first term as a negative. Like in this brackets over there, the first term is a negative, so we can solve further than that here. So just take the negative from both the terms here, these both the terms. So we actually have right now negative 3x plus 2, and the next one is y minus 6. So if you want to, the negative is right in front of this 3x, so you can just take out the negative from both the terms. See, negative, put it out the bracket here. Now negative 3x, if you take the negative from that, it's just the 3x. Positive 2 divided by negative is negative 2, and then the y minus 6 here. Okay, so this is something if you want to do, this is just really optional here. So check out with your teacher if she likes this way here or this one. Both ways are actually fine here. But the thing is, when we do the common factoring, mostly we don't prefer writing the first term as a negative. So if you want to avoid that here, just take the negative from just only this bracket, because the first term already here is positive here. So this is something we can do right now. Okay. So please go over this one. If there is going to be anything that you don't understand it, let me know. Okay, so there is also D part left here. Let's erase everything on the screen. Oops. And let's solve this. So in the D part, let's see what they are saying. I'm just gonna erase this part here, so we will have enough space. All right, let's see. So we have been given here, it says 2y, then brackets x minus 3, then there is a plus 4z brackets 3 minus x. Now the same strategy over there. So this is x minus 3, that is 3 minus x here. So that means whatever we did in the C part, then we need to do the same thing right now. Let's see how we're gonna do that here. So 3 minus x. So remember, we can do one thing here. Every single time whenever the first term is a negative, we try to take the negative out from that here. See, okay, first of all, see, 3 minus x. Let's write that here. We always write the variable first, then the number. So this is the negative x. We're gonna write that first, then the positive 3. Now, negative is the first term, so take the negative from both the terms then. Because we can just take out the negative from only one term, so we need to take the negative out from both the terms here. So negative x, negative is gone, just x, positive divided by negative is negative, then 3 is here. So basically 3 minus x is same thing as writing negative x minus 3. So that means this 2y brackets x minus 3 stays the same. Then there is a plus 4z stays the same. Instead of writing 3 minus x, I can write here this one, that is negative brackets x minus 3. Close that in the bracket. Now see again this 4z here, this one positive 4z is multiplying by everything into the bracket here. So when the 4z multiplies with this negative here, that will be negative 4z, because positive times negative is a negative, and this x minus 3 stays as it is, and leave this one same as well, 2y brackets x minus 3. Alright, I hope you understand so far. Let's see the next part here in this one here. So now we're gonna find what is common in both the terms here. In both the terms, let's find out here. So see, this is the first term and that is the next term here. So we clearly see the something common right now is x minus 3 right over there, that is common. And the next one we see here is x minus 3. So x minus 3 is common here. Okay, and then also see this term right over the 2y, and this one is 4z. Now see, 2y, 2 is divisible by 2, 4 is also divisible by 2. That means these two terms here, I can divide both of them by the highest term, that is 2. So 2 is common between both the terms here. So I'm going to take the 2 as well as, okay, so x minus 3 as well as the 2, we're going to take both of them out here. Then what are we going to left in the bracket here? Let's find out. See, we are, so it's from the 2y, we took out the 2, we took out the x minus 3, we are left with only y here. So y is left, then there is a minus here. Now see, x minus 3 is gone here. This z is still there, so we're gonna keep this z. Now from the 4 we took out the 2. How to find what's left in there? 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this is left here. So this will be the final answer. Okay, so this is something is left over there, and that's the final answer here for this one. We just continued over there. This is the answer. That's the way to solve it. So yeah, so please go through this one. If there is going to be anything that you don't understand it, let me know.